Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Depi Rahmawati, and in this opportunity, I'm going to share about the subject is English as a lingua franca or ELF. So let's go to the material. ELF or English as a lingua franca is the use of English between speakers who don't share their first language. So English as the medium or contact to communicate between person or someone or speakers with a different intercultural communications. So for the other definitions, um, English as the language that used for make communicate between person with other person or community with other community with different first language. For example, I'm from Indonesia and my friend from China. So I don't understand my friend language. It is Chinese, and my friend doesn't understand my language. It is Indonesia. So for make the well communications, uh, we use English as the lingua franca or English as the language that we can use to communicate between us. So English here is English as lingua franca. How about the native speakers for ELF users? Uh, Native speakers of English are not the majority for ELF users. And the kind of communication you get in ELF doesn't follow the native speakers like English, because for ELF users, everyone who talk English as a lingua franca have their own English with their way, with their accent. So they make English is as the language with their way to speak. The reason why English as a lingua franca became interesting. The simple reason is because English is the most used language around the world. There are 2 billion persons, 2 billion people around the world use English. So, but for the learner or the user, the English user who are not from the native speakers countries like UK or US, it's very hard to master English with the accent or the way same with the native speakers. English is not the ownership of native speakers countries like UK or US, but English is spread the ownerships around the world. Around every people, every country around the world has the same ownerships of English. So English is become an English as lingua franca because this reason. It is very important to distinguish English as a lingua franca from some other fields of study that are related to English globally. We all know one of this is called English, a word Englishes. The varieties of word Englishes such as Singaporean English, Nigerian English, or Indian English. It is very different between English as a lingua franca with these varieties because English as a lingua franca used as a contact language or language for intercultural communications, whereas word English is concerned to the geographical and the national locations and the uses of English. It is also very important to distinguish between ELF, English as a lingua franca, with EFL, English as foreign language looks at the communication between native speakers and the non-native speakers. In English as a foreign language or EFL, the non-native speakers are expected to adjust and adapt with the native speakers. But in English as a lingua franca, that use English as the intercultural communications, the non-native speakers are not expected to adjust or adapt with the native speakers. Rather, the native speakers are expected to adjust and adapt with the non-native speakers. In the ELF also has the woman of the field. In 2000s, there are 3 researchers referred to be mother of the ELF. The 3 researchers are Jennifer Jenkins, Barbara Seidlover from Vienna Oxford International Corpus of English, and the last is the professor Anna Maurenin from the University of Helsinki. I think that's all enough from me for English as a lingua franca or ELF. Thank you for watching my video. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.